What's going on, guys? This is Josh S from Team DF Dub, and today I'm going to be talking about the ban list. I know a lot of people have already, made videos on what they've thought on the ban list, but I thought I would go ahead and give you my take and what I think of the ban list. Alright, so, banned, we have Bionic Dragon of the Ice Barrier and Future Fusion. Bionic, kind of unfortunate to see him go. He was one of my favorite cards as far as synchros are concerned. So it kind of sucks, but I know why they did it because of the Atlanteans. So maybe needed to be done, but still kind of unfortunate. Future Fusion, broken in Chaos Dragons, broken card all around. It needed to be hit. Not disappointed about it at all. Alright, limited to one. Inzektor Dragonfly, Inzektor Hornet, Chaos Sorcerer, Spore, Tsukiyomi, Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, Evagishki Gust Kraken, Wind Up Carrier Zenmighty, and Ultimate Offering. Alright, Inzektors. Probably the most played deck in both the OCG and TCG, so not surprised at all to see them on the list. Hitting both Dragonfly and Hornet, could maybe be a little bit overkill, but I hated the deck. I know a lot of Inzektor players are sour about it, but don't give a shit. Chaos Sorcerer, kind of surprised that he's back to being limited, especially with BLS still in the game. I would have thought BLS would be hit before Chaos Sorcerer, but what are you going to do? Alright, next we have Spore. I'm pretty happy he's off the list, or at least off the ban. Uh, I don't know if plants are really going to make a comeback. With Debris Dragon, it's possible. I think a lot of people are at least going to try, and, maybe that's all it needs. Tsukiyomi, another cool card to see come off the list. One deck I think Mike could abuse him quite well is Gravekeepers with Spy. I don't really know too many decks that could abuse him that well. He's not as great as he used to be. That being said, I do think Gravekeepers could abuse the card quite well. Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, both Chaos Dragons, and Heretics. Heretics are really popular in the OCG, so not too surprised to see him on the list. It kind of sucks for some Heretics players because Heretics never really took off in the TCG with Gustav Max not being available, but I'm not disappointed about him being on the list. Iwagishki Gust Kraken, I'm happy that they stopped the loop before it really ever got started. With windups, the hand loop was ridiculously stupid. So, not too disappointed to see him on the list. Wind up carrier Zenmighty, you really could have just hit Hunter and the loop would have been stopped. That being said, when you look at wind up Hunter as a card, it's really not that, you know, ban worthy. He was just abused with other wind up cards with like Zenmighty and Rat. But with Zenmighty being hit, it does slow down the loop. They can't hit as many cards out of the hand as they used to. So at least that's good. Ultimate Offering. I'm kind of surprised to see that on the list as well because it was really abusable with gadgets, and gadgets I would say kind of help pushing exceeds, and Konami really wants to push exceeds, so I'm a little surprised to see that on here, but I'm kind of glad to see it on here because I think the card's pretty broken. All right, semi-limited to two, we have Rescue Rabbit, Agent of Mystery Earth, Debris Dragon, Blackwing Kalutha Moonshadow, Death Guide leaving the underworld bound for the living world, also known as Tour Guide from the Underworld. Emergency Call, Plot of Duality, Heretic Seal of Convocation, A Hero Lives, Reasoning, and Mirror Force. Alright, Rescue Rabbit. It needed to be hit. I'm glad it's hit. I'm also really glad that they didn't hit Logia and Dolka, me being an Evolve player. I'm glad they kind of hit the root of the problem. I do know Logia is a really broken card, and maybe in the future it will get hit. But for now, Rescue Rabbit is the guy on the chopping block. And with it at two, I still think it's going to be a very good deck. With Levier still around, it I still think it's going to be a really good deck. Maybe not tier 1 good, tier 1.5 though. I just think it maybe lost a little bit of consistency, but I think it'll be alright. Agent of Mystery Earth, I'm glad that it's back to semi-limited. Honestly, I don't think it needed to be limited to begin with. I think Master Hyperion was the main issue. I mean, Earth is a good card, don't get me wrong, but I think it was Hyperion that was the main problem. So, agents may make a comeback. We'll just have to see. One thing I'm kind of disappointed that's not on here is TG Striker. I I mean, TGs were really good, but now they're not doing anything. And I love TGs. I used to play TGs, and I still play with them, but it having TG Striker down to one does kind of suck. So I wish they would have brought that back to two at least. But what are you gonna do? Debris Dragon, you know, like I said with Spore, plants could make a comeback. We'll just have to see. I'm sure a lot of people are gonna try. Um, Blackwing, Kalute the Moonshadow. Blackwings have been dead for quite a while. I don't think Kalute's gonna bring him to tier one by any means, but maybe some more people will start playing Blackwings. I never really hated Blackwings at all. I always liked Blackwings. I thought they were a cool, concept. So not too disappointed about that. All right, tour guide from the underworld. Probably the one card that everybody, in one way or another, wanted to see on the list. Probably would have been better if it got hit to one, but since the OCG is just now getting it, we're just gonna have to live with it at two. I'm glad it got hit. I think a lot of people are as well. Emergency call and a hero lives. Don't think it really hurts heroes that much. I think heroes are gonna be really good still, possibly tier one. I'm gonna be playing heroes. I know that much. So not too worried about that. Pot of Duality, don't really know why they hit it. My guess is kind of like with Book of Moon, since it was a really splashable card, everybody played it. They felt like they needed to hit it. I don't know. I think it's kind of stupid. It didn't need to be hit. Heretic Seal of Convocation. Once again, Heretics really popular in the OCG. Not surprised. Reasoning. I don't know. Mirror Force. I'm happy that it's a two. Just like with Torrential Tribute, Mirror Force is probably my favorite trap card of all time. I love Mirror Force. I It's not as good as it used to be. It can be easily stopped with Starlight Road stuff like that. So not as good as it used to be, but I'm still gonna play it too because I love the card that much. All right, no longer on the list. We have Necroguard, Marshmallow, Emergency Teleport, Destiny Draw, Level Limit Area B, Swords of Revealing Light, and Magic Cylinder. All right, Necroguard. Possibly gonna be a lot of Lightsworn and Twilight variants running around because people think Necroguard is gonna make it tier one. Doubt it. I think the only way to make it tier one is bring Lumina to three and Charge being higher on the list with two or three. Marshmallow, along with swords, more stall. I don't like stall, but by themselves they don't need to be on the list. Emergency teleport, pretty cool to see that off the list. People are talking about Teledad. I don't think it'll do a whole lot, but it'd be pretty cool just to see. Destiny draw, once again, really happy about that. Level limit area B could be stall, but with exceeds being ranks, I don't think it's going to do anything. Magic cylinder, it could be, it could spawn, a whole bunch of burn players to run it. I personally really like Magic Cylinder just as a card. You could side it in, surprise people with it. But it's going to be really unfortunate if burn players start playing it. I hate burn. I hate stall decks. That's just me. And that is our list for September 1st. Tell me what you guys think. I like the list. Hits Injectors, Chaos Dragons, Rescue Rabbit, or Dino Rabbit, I should say. It hits Tour Guide. So, all in all, I think it's a pretty good list. There's a couple iffy things. I didn't like Bionic being on here, but what are you gonna do? Personally, for me, I'm gonna be running Heroes and Evols just like last format. I'm also pretty, excited to play Prophecies. I think that's gonna be really fun. As far as my teammate is concerned, I'm pretty sure he's ecstatic that Lavels didn't get hit because I know he wants to make a Lavel deck, and I actually played his Lavel deck a couple days ago, and it's pretty sick to say the least. I like Lavels. Um, Tell me what you guys are gonna play. Rate, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Anyways, have a good evening, and more videos to come. Peace.